All right, good Friday morning. Today is Friday, October 8th, 2021, and this is your Friday morning safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. The safety department is located in the Z building here, the southernmost building on the campus here. We're located right there on the ground level in the center of the room, right next to the pillars. So if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to step up and let us know what you got going on. We can't promise you we're going to have all the answers, but we do promise you that somebody in this building can help you out. You know, we do this meeting every single Friday morning. You know, we just recently restarted post-COVID, so we're excited to be in front of you. Last week, our boss here, Mr. Steve Field, was out, and we had an awesome meeting. We gave away a bunch of free stuff, free hot dogs, gift cards. I think Robert even gave somebody a $22,000 check last week. So we had an awesome meeting last week. Since the boss is back, we're probably not going to give away anything free today. So sorry to our folks in Springfield, but we're going to give you some great information today. These meetings are not exclusively about safety. We've got a wide range of information to give you today. And today's going to be a real special one of my favorite ones to do. We're going to give you some information about what you're going to experience from a fleet manager standpoint. But my other favorite thing about these meetings is that our breakfast is free this morning. So if you haven't ordered breakfast yet, jump in line and our folks will get you taken care of. So let's give our folks over there a round of applause for taking care of us this morning. The other thing is, of course, you guys, you know, that are out on the road, you can't watch these meetings every single week, but you do have access to them on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live. So welcome our folks that are watching us live, both now and in the future on social media. We love to have you here. Please click subscribe so you can get notification when we're posting videos. All right, the next thing is we broadcast live at 3 locations: Springfield, Missouri, where we are today, Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City. So let's go east to see who's with us this morning in Pittston, Pennsylvania. Who do we got with us this morning?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Sounds like we got Rick, and you've got an absolutely full house this morning. How are you today, Rick?
I'm doing fine. Everybody's looking around wondering who's talking to everybody. So
There's a dude in the back with the microphone, man. It looks like you got a full house. Good-looking group there. Tell us what's going on in Pittston.
you know, we do have a good big crowd today, and you know, everything's going great up here, and the parking lot across the street is coming along really well. The pad's working really good, getting a lot of students through there. I had a big class this week that I'm aware of. I was off a couple days, so.
Well, we definitely welcome you back. We need you back. And of course, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump right on and we'll get you on the microphone.
Sure enough, one thing I want to mention is every day here in Pittston, Pennsylvania, we do a comprehensive law class, 14:30. If anybody wants to attend, feel free.
Absolutely. And another shameless plug for Cardinal Sleep. Next week, Cardinal Sleep Heather will be on site there in Pittston, Pennsylvania on Thursday and Friday. So if you have a Philips CPAP machine that has been recalled, she is going to be ready and available there in Pittston, Pennsylvania to exchange your machine. So you do need to bring your old recall machine. She'll exchange it. Of course, this will be at no cost. She says she wants to be bombarded with folks when she gets there to the terminal. So come one, come all. The process takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and she'll get you out the door. All right, let's go west to Salt Lake City. Do we got Troy this morning?
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning from Salt Lake City.
Man, that's one of my favorite parts of the morning. I'll be honest with you. To hear the excitement and the artificially pumped in applause for Troy, in Salt Lake City is always great.
If we could turn the camera on, you would see our excited, amazing looking drivers here. We got about 40 people sitting around here just looking, waiting for our safety meeting. Well, breakfast helps, but waiting for our safety meeting.
Right, and if I would have played the Powerball, I would have won $750 million. So, but how's it going out there in Salt Lake City? I see you guys got your fall decorations, kind of like we do in our background. I think you guys' facility is awesome. Tell us what's going on.
You know what? We are trying to emulate y'all as the best we can. We've got a great facility here. We've got a great staff. We've got, the place is beautiful. We've got a great, kitchen and for everybody. And, Utah is up and coming. We're getting more and more people through. And we've got a bunch of students here this week and a bunch of drivers ready to get out on the road.
So it's no secret that nationwide there's like a shortage of workers in every single industry, so to hear that you guys got 40 folks there and we've got a room full of folks here in Springfield, Missouri that chose trucking and that chose Prime is exciting. So, tell us about your shop facility out there in Salt Lake City, just real quick.
We are just growing. They can get you in at any time. Just give us a little bit of advance notice and we'll get you in no matter what it is. We do have our Freightliner rep here that does our warranty stuff for Freightliner. He's here every day. And we can get you in and out, pretty quickly. If we get enough notice, we'll get you in and out pretty quick.
Awesome. So if you guys out there have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to step to the microphone. We'll get you guys right on. Thanks a lot.
We'll do. Thanks, bud.
All right, right back here to Springfield, Missouri. So I introduced myself earlier. With me, I have our Director of Safety, Mr. Steve Field. Good morning.
Morning, Dennis.
Good morning.
Dennis always gets us off to a good start. I always like to talk about people, and Dennis was not a recent addition to the safety department, but he is our newest safety supervisor. And what I like about Dennis is he came from an operational background, worked in our dispatch department for 15 years. So adds another perspective when we're looking at things. So I appreciate Dennis being here and kicking off the meeting. I would like to go ahead and do something now. I'd like to welcome the new folks to Prime, and Dennis has kind of touched on that. We've got new folks in Pittston, we've got new folks in Salt Lake City, and we've got new folks here. So if you're brand new to Prime, if you're just joining us, would you go ahead and stand this morning? We'd just like to recognize you and say welcome. Thank you. You're entering a super challenging profession, but I think it's an honorable profession. I've been in trucking most of my life, and these are some unique times right now. And you're entering trucking. I think it's probably one of the best times to enter it. If you heard about self-driving trucks and autonomous trucks, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We are always going to need good, safe, professional drivers. And that's what we turn out here is professional drivers. And why you're so important to us is we want to grow. We've got some of the lowest turnover in the industry, meaning you hire drivers and you lose drivers, but everyone's going to lose employees and associates, but we've got some of the lowest turnover. So you're really our future. You're our growth. And just a couple of things I'm going to suggest to you. You are entering a challenging profession, but we're going to give you all the training that you need. We're going to give you good equipment, good safe equipment, and we're going to give you a great support team, whether it's located here, Salt Lake City, or Pittston. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more later, but I want you to know you're not alone out there. It seems that way sometimes. It's going to be tough. There's going to be times you're going to say, I don't know if I made the right decision. This is hard. I miss my family. No, I understand that. I'm out here by myself. It's hard to find a place to park. I wanted to load now, and where is it? Believe me, we're going to do everything we can to make you successful out there. The more successful you are, the more successful Prime is. So listen to your instructor, listen to your trainer, but ask questions, push back. If something doesn't seem right, we want to know about it. We want to know about it. If you don't feel you're being treated with respect, if you're not being treated the way that you think you should be, we've got tons of people here that you can talk with. Your fleet manager, we've got folks in the training program, the safety department, Robert Lowe, our owner and founder, who won't be able to be here today, but talk to him, talk to someone. Don't keep that inside if something's not going right. So I'm just going to, again, welcome you. We're really, really glad you're here. And we're going to make this the best possible experience for you. And we're going to see at the end of the meeting kind of what the results are, what maybe is the culmination of a long career in trucking. And we're just going to see that here at the end of the meeting. So I think we're probably ready to get started.
Sounds like a bit of foreshadowing. Maybe we will give something away today. So
Maybe we will.
all
Let me
right.
run through the lineup, Dennis, then I'll have you take over, if you
Sounds
would.
good.
Okay, so we've got that kind of, we'll just call it a panel, if you will. We're going to talk about how a fleet manager has support here from various departments that support him. That means they're supporting you, and that includes road assist when you have maintenance issues on your equipment, payroll, because you want to be paid, and you want to be paid right the first time, and logs. We've already heard logs talked about by Ricky up in Pittston. Logs can be a challenge. They're unique logs, and you're going to find there's a lot to them. So you're going to have log people available to help you, advisors, literally 24 hours a day, every day of the week. People will be available to help you with your logs. Then we've got human resources here because we've come back around to open enrollment season again for insurance. So we want to talk about that. And then at the end of the meeting, we do have a really, really neat presentation that we're going to make. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's really fun to be able to do something like this. So you want to take it away, Dennis?
Sure. Before we get into our first group of speakers, let's talk a little bit about safety. This week, I had the opportunity to do our inspections, and this was a phenomenal week inspection-wise. We had 144 total inspections. We had 105 clean inspections, which is a clean rate of 73%. That's about twice what the industry average is. Of course, good job. And you know, since Dave White was out this week, it was his turn to do the inspection. So of course he's out, you know, but so I stepped in, and one of the things that I saw the most frequent reason that we're failing the inspections this week is a simple one: speed. We saw a lot of speed, and it wasn't crazy. You know, I saw a lot of 1 to 6s, a few 6 to 10s over the posted limit. Not the end of the world, but keep in mind, especially as we go into the winter season and some, you know, as we stand here in shorts and t-shirts in October, you know, it's going to be an unseasonably warm 85 degrees in Springfield, Missouri, but inevitably, maybe in as little as a couple weeks, we'll be standing here in sweaters and being prepared for the winter weather. So make sure that as you, especially you new folks, get out there on the road, that you know, you're driving the appropriate speed for the condition. So if you guys ever have any questions about, you know, your CSA rating or anything like that, don't hesitate to give your fleet manager a call or give us a call in the safety department, and we'll go through it all with you. So, but without further ado, this is going to be my favorite part of the meeting. You know, I'm going to bring up SBU number 1 in our hearts. All right. I'm going to ask Oakland Morrison, Wendy Decker, Jesse Sace, and, you know, our pinch hitter, Brennan Officer, to come up and join me. Come on, give these guys a round of applause. So the first thing I'm going to say is, you know, as easy as me and Steve make it look, it's not easy to get up here and speak in front of a group of people, you know, both here in the room and, of course, millions of viewers around the world on social media. But these folks, you know, when I gave them a call, you know, they were ready to jump in right away because they know how important it is for you guys to understand what you're getting yourselves into. So, you know, what you have here is your support system. It may not be yours individually. It depends on what fleet you get assigned to, but this will be an example of what your support system looks like. You know, and you know, just off the top of my head, I think we've got about at least 50 years of trucking experience, you know, standing right here, readily available. Most of them are available around the clock, 24 hours to provide you help. So I'm going to go through and just kind of ask each one of them a little bit about, you know, what they do, you know, in their everyday role and kind of what their expectations, especially for newer drivers coming into the industry. So we'll start over here at the far left. This is Oakland Morrison, right? Good morning, Oakland.
Good morning.
And just a little bit of information about Oakland. Oakland was trained by a really good fleet manager. He even was the night guy for an even better fleet manager, right?
That would be you.
That would be me. So yes, while doing my time as a fleet manager, Oakland, you know, was my night associate. So again, you know, if you're on my fleet or even Oakland's fleet, you've got somebody, and it's usually somebody that with some continuity, meaning same person every day or every night or even every weekend, that you'll get to know, that you'll get to, understand how they communicate. And Oakland was my night guy, and he did a phenomenal job. So I'm glad you're still here. But Oakland, kind of give us a little bit of insight about what your expectation as a fleet manager is, especially for a newer driver when it comes to communication.
So the biggest thing is communication. You guys are new to Prime. You don't know how it works. You really don't know anybody here. You're going to have to rely on us here on the inside to help you out. When you're out there with your trainer, we don't know what's going on out there unless you guys tell us. So we don't have like ESPN and can see what's going on in the truck. You got to tell us what's going on. So that's the biggest thing.
All right, and communication is a two-way street. So, I think what Oakland is saying is if something's going wrong, and hey, this is trucking, and we promise you it's going to be a really good experience, but it's not going to be perfect. If there's an issue, so let's say your trainer's feet stink, or something crazy like that, and you just need to get it off your chest, who do we call, Oakland?
You got to call your fleet manager. They are your end-all, be-all, number one contact, and we will help you through anything.
All right, well, good deal. And we'll circle back to you, Oakland, but, really the most important reason we're here, trucking is fun, but I don't think it's anybody's hobby. Maybe a few of you, we're here to get paid, all right? And we want to know from day one, what do I need to do to make sure that two things, my paycheck is right and my paycheck is on time. So we've got Miss Wendy Decker here, Oakland's payroll advisor, and so she'll be the payroll advisor for any driver on Oakland's fleet. So Wendy, tell us a little bit about what you do and kind of the services you provide for our drivers and our operators.
Well, in the payroll department, we can help you get your direct deposit set up. So if you want to get direct deposit, you would bring us either a copy of a void check, something from your bank. We could help you get that set up. We could help you update contact information. If you're a lease operator, we could help you set up an emergency fund. That's something that we offer for our lease operators. So anything like that, just come see myself or your payroll advisor, and we can help you get that going.
Well, good deal. So, I'm new driver, week 1, week 2, and there is a problem. Am I calling Oakland? Am I calling you? What do I do?
Well, you can call Oakland if you want, but he's going to tell you to call me, and that's fine because that's what we do. I would be more than happy to help you out. Any of your payroll advisors can go over your weekly settlement with you. That's what we do all week long. We look at your weekly settlements. So if you have any questions on your settlements, Oakland knows what those settlements look like. He knows how to look at them, what they're about. I can help you with that. Any payroll advisor can help you with that. A lot of us are working on and off site right now. So if I am not on site, there is somebody that is on site. I can do it over the phone. It's easier to do it in person, but we can do it over the phone as well. Any of us can help you do that. So just come see us if you have questions.
You know how good she is? We didn't practice for this at all, but that was actually going to be my next question, and you jumped right in and answered it. So, but hey, we're going to circle back to you, Wendy. I want to talk about, kind of the payroll process, when to scan in trips, that type of thing, and we'll talk about that. So next guy, hey, you can lose a mask for just a second so we can hear you. This is Jesse Sace in our road assist department. And Jesse, again, works with the same SBU unit, this network, and he provides maintenance advisor information for everybody. So tell us kind of, what your expectation is, especially for a new driver. Let's say, I'm a new driver. I just upgraded. I'm in the truck by myself for the very first time. Give me some quick hitter tips on maybe some tools I need to take out with me, or maybe even, as we get into the winter months, some quick winter weather advice.
Yeah, no, honestly, first, of course, I'm probably the last person that you guys want to talk to, because when you call me, it means something's probably wrong, most likely. But that's kind of what we're here for. Like they said, keep that open communication. Let us know what's going wrong. Know your limitations. If you feel like there's something wrong with the truck or the trailer or anything like that, give us a call. Let us know. We'll kind of walk you through it. Try to get somebody out to you to help you out, or get you to some place where you can get helped out. Now, going into the winter months, definitely some good advice is, keep like what I tell some of my drivers, like a survival kit in the truck. Something like road flares, kitty litter, kind of your basic all-purpose winter needs. make sure that we're going to start here in the next few months. They're going to start having like the chains and the fuel treatment and everything and outbound for you guys to be able to buy. But the biggest thing is, know your limitations, especially going into the winter. We would love it if every load can make it on time, but we don't need no heroes, especially out there. If you guys are driving around in the snow, it gets really scary. Just let us know.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, it's not missed upon me that the road assist guy couldn't figure out how to turn the microphone on. But it's okay. And we're going to circle back to you here in just a second, too, with some other information. Now, Oakland, your log advisor is Claire Joy, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And this is not Claire Joy, right?
Correct.
All right. So one of the things I enjoy most about this culture is, we're always here to help. Next man up type situation. In this case, next woman up. So we've got Brennan Officer, who used to be your log advisor, right?
That is correct.
She's willing to step over here and jump in. And, we always lean on Brennan because she's always in a good mood. She's always smiling and she's always willing to help. So let's talk about, especially from a new driver perspective, what the expectation is from a log advisor and just communication back and forth.
Right. Yeah. So the main goal that we have in the log department is simply to educate you on how to best manage your logs. We do this in several ways. We heavily rely on our classes. We also rely on your phone calls. Anytime you have questions or concerns about your logs in general or the Qualcomm unit, you'll want to make sure to contact the expert. We spend a lot of time studying the FMCSA regulation, and we work with the Qualcomm units on a daily basis. So anytime you have questions or concerns, make sure to reach out to us. We are 24/7 in the log department, so feel free to call in anytime so we can assist.
All right. Thank you, Brendan. So we're going to go back to Wendy. So Wendy, and I want to make sure you guys, if we have any questions, don't hesitate to jump in. This isn't the, Dennis and SBU #1 show, but, there's a specific day of the week, and remind me, is it Tuesday or Wednesday that you guys are auditing trips?
We're auditing on Thursdays, but cutoff is 4
Okay.
on Wednesdays.
There we go. And kind of take us through, for basic knowledge purposes, what you guys are doing when you do that.
When we're auditing?
So what?
When we're auditing?
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. So when we're auditing your loads, basically everything that you guys have turned in for that week, we're going to review the trips that you have turned in for that week, go over everything that you've scanned in, make sure the loads are paying correctly, all of your receipts are scanned in, all of your reimbursements are paying that should be paying to you. One big thing on reimbursements that you guys need to watch for when you are scanning in your trips are your lumpers. Lumpers are huge. You have to scan those in and enter a lumper in the depart call in order to get reimbursed for that. You will see that pay back to you in your revenue section as an outside lumper. But those things have to be done in order for that to pay back. So it's very crucial you do that. Make sure that you are scanning your trips in within 48 hours of your empty call so you don't lose bonuses and incentives and stuff like that. So that's what we're looking for.
Hey, yeah, I make mistakes, and what happens if it's a 10-page bill of lading and I forget to scan a few pages, or maybe I forget the lumper receipt or something like that? What's going to happen with the trip at that point?
If we notice when we are going through all of your trips that something is missing, we will send you a message via Qualcomm to let you know that something is missing. Please do not ignore that message. When we send you those messages, we need that in order to get you guys paid correctly and timely. So if we send you that message, if you don't understand the message, call us, let us know, and we'll let you know what it is that we're looking for.
All right, so I'm gonna dig into Riker here just a little bit. With the on the road card, actually it's on road card, but we like to give them a hard time. So if I have an issue with my card, my ComData card, who do I call? How do I get this fixed?
Well, you can call your payroll advisor and we can try to help you out with that. We have a very, very awesome ComData rep that if we can't help figure it out, she can. She is freaking fantastic. But if you have an issue, call your payroll advisor and we will try to get figured out for you first. From there, if we can't, we will get with the ComData rep from that point. Also with the card, make sure you download the On-Road app. It's very crucial that you have that. You will want that for this card. Also text IN to 57911 for your text alerts, for your fraud alerts on that, on the app. So you will want that information as well.
All right, well, good deal. So we're going to be real transparent here. Oakland, man, I'm upset. You know, I'm seeing, you know, from my fellow drivers that this is a great time to be in trucking. Everybody's making a ton of money. You know, everybody's loads are great. Pre-plans are flowing, but not me. I'm struggling. You know, I can't get a pre-plan. I don't like the loads that I get. You know, it's your fault, Oakland. What do I need to do?
That's very common. Okay. So if you guys are upset about something or don't understand why your revenue is suffering or anything like that, maybe you got to call your fleet manager and talk to them. We know what's going in and out, and we know how to help you guys out. Also, we offer a business class called ACE2 for the lease operators, which is great information to help you read your settlements and be more profitable. You know, after you've been in your own truck for 4 weeks or so, you can take that class. It's got a lot of great information about how the network works with rates and all that. But we, as fleet managers, will coach you through on what your fuel cost is. You know, are you taking too much time off, or are you not logging your loads correctly? Showing up late, which causes you to push out your delivery. You know, stuff like that will affect you, and we can help you through that.
All right, Oakland, here you go. So I need you to give me 3 points of advice, and I want you to, you know, it's just, you know, me and you talking. I'm brand new in the industry, and I'm close to you. I'm your brother, friend, cousin, and I just need that inside information that you've gained from, you know, 15 or so years of being here. Give me 3 things that I need to know going forward.
All right. Number 1, you have to develop a relationship with your fleet manager. We are going to take care of you. I know you guys are new and you don't know what to ask us or get to know us. Just ask us questions. We'll take the time to get to know you, and that relationship will last into many, many years. Number 2, you guys need to make sure that you communicate your needs. Like we don't know what you need unless you tell us. Same way with like other departments here. We're all here to help you guys succeed. And if you guys don't ask for help, we can't give it to you. We don't know what you need. Number 3, let's see. I don't have a third one.
We come back to you on that one. Okay, good deal, good deal. So I want to transition to Jesse, you know, and one of the common things we get in the safety department, you know, especially from newer drivers, you know, you may give some information to a driver that's been here 10 years and he's got it, bam, got it, I'm right on it, I'll get it done. But a driver maybe that's been here 10 minutes, they may not feel as comfortable, you know, doing that same thing, you know, and of course, you know, we have this notion that we talk about, you know, we usually talk about it in the wintertime, the captain of the ship mentality, where the truck doesn't move unless you're ready and you're willing to do it. Whether you're a company driver or a lease operator, this is the mindset. But sometimes that transitions over into the maintenance department. Maybe it's something that a 10-year veteran is comfortable with doing, but maybe somebody that's brand new isn't. You know, how do you navigate a situation like that?
Well, I mean, it really depends sometimes. With the veterans, they're usually more willing to do a lot of different stuff. You know, with our lease operators too, if we've got any issues with like our trailers, we're also always more than willing to pay you guys for fixing our equipment. But for some of you newer guys, you aren't going to know what to do. That's what we're here for. Give us a call. We can try to walk you through anything. If you don't feel comfortable doing something yourself, just let us know. I mean, it's really not that hard. We can get somebody else out there, you know. We'll always try to see if we can't walk you guys through it first, because that's the quickest and easiest solution. But if you're unsure, just let us know.
Good deal. Good deal. Perfect answer, Jesse. Thank you so much. So I'm going to definitely open up the floor to, you know, anybody that has any questions. You know, don't be shy. This is your opportunity. I think we got one over here. I'll take this one right here. Hold on. Let's get on that.
All right, so Jesse said during the winter we need cat litter. What is that for?
So that's kind of like, let's say you don't have your snow trains on your tires. Kitty litter can actually help you ground traction in snow. And that's also, you can kind of use the road flares too, not only to flag somebody down if you are in distress or in kind of a stressful situation, but you can actually use that to kind of melt the snow around the tires to kind of give you a better leeway as well.
You were talking about doing the repairs on the trailer, and you guys pay for some of those repairs, don't you?
That is correct. So there are certain things like trailer chutes, stuff you guys see. If you think you can fix it, let us know. Send us before pictures, send us after pictures. If there's any materials that are involved and you need to purchase, send us the receipt so we know kind of, what we want to pay. Because, in all honesty, shop's going to gouge us to fix, just to hang a trailer chute. If it's something you guys can do, we'd much rather pay you guys than have to pay a shop for that.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? I need some high, hard ones. Here we go, right over here. And then we got one. Do we have a question over here? Okay.
Well, this isn't a question. This is more of a comment for all these new drivers out here. It's about to get cold, guys. Those pre-trips are going to stink when it's 15 degrees outside. It's going to stink even more when it's 15 below zero outside. The stuff breaks on these trucks when it gets cold. And if you open that hood and you do your pre-trip every day like you're supposed to, you're going to be calling Jesse a heck of a lot less than you're just going to be able to keep running and making money. Because the phrase is true. If the wheels aren't turning, you aren't earning. So you keep that truck moving, you keep it maintained right, and you won't be calling Jesse, and you won't be saying bad things about him when you do have to call him.
All right. Thank you. Next question.
Hey, sometimes we have an issue with loads that get sent to us late. Like, I guess a lot of it is, like the other day I had a load that was sent to me. It was like 3 hours after the appointment time. So I got to my appointment, and I had to wait a couple hours for them to load me because I was at work in. So I asked them, because obviously the shipper doesn't pay DT. So what happens with that then? How do we get paid off of that?
I can answer that. So right now we've got a lot of freight out there, and we prioritize loads on which ones we pick up first and whatnot. So you're going to get some loads that you're running behind on to get picked up. We cannot charge the customer detention if we arrive after the pickup time. In that scenario, if you're held up or whatnot, to get with your fleet manager, we can make sure you're taken care of.
So, because I guess what I'm looking for is maybe like a rate per minute or per hour that y'all, like how y'all charge the shipper. Because if we don't know what we are getting, then it's a risk to us when we take them loads. You see what I'm saying?
Well, so every customer has a different contract and a different rate on their detention and layover. Every customer is different. Some pay, after their detention starts after an hour, some are 2 hours, some are 4 hours. It just depends. And there's no set rate. We don't have a set rate that we're going to sit here and pay you. We'll just see what time's involved and make sure you guys are taken care of.
So one more. So what about when, okay, so like from my understanding, there's a cap of the amount of money that the shipper or receiver will pay out. Like, so let's say if it pays out a couple hours leads up to like $450. So when they go over that amount, what happens then if it's taking the shipper longer or receiver longer to unload it or load it?
So there is a max per day, and I think that's what you're referring to. And then that turns into what they call layover. And so once you hit that max per day, then layover kicks in. So if you're detained after that, then you get additional money after that.
So layover doesn't have to be 24 hours. It kicks in right after
their max, yeah.
All right. I think we got some questions from online, Field.
Wendy, we've got a question from you, and I've heard this before, and it is, can we use our personal card to fuel instead of the on-road card because fuel is being taken from the settlement for the independent contractor? So he kind of wants to use his personal credit card.
Well, you definitely can do that if you choose to. It just won't come out of your settlement. Obviously, when the settlement runs, you're just going to be charged for it personally, from your personal bank as opposed to through the settlement. So you can do that, but
I
They
don't
just
think
don't
they'll
come
get the
settle that.
discount if they do that.
they won't, that's true. So you are losing money that way.
And they'll also have to, will they have to call in?
Very good point.
Do they have to call in to get a PO for that as well? Well, I guess they wouldn't if they're using their personal side.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay, but that's probably not our
We're not gonna
choice.
get
Well,
reimbursed for it.
they do need to put in the cash fuel PO, especially if they purchase reefer fuel, because they won't
Well,
get.
reefer fuel, yeah, because they're gonna get some portion of their reefer fuel back, but not for tractor fuel.
and
So it sounds like
taxes.
the better
The best way would be just to use your ComData
use,
card.
use the ComData card. And then I think there was one more.
I got one here, and this is going to be for Oakland. You know, what is the process between sales and fleet manager to get loads set up for drivers?
Well, we work on a PTA system, which is projected time of availability, and that's how we plan you guys. So the sales coordinators will work in order of PTAs in their area and get you guys planned up that way. They take into account home counters and stuff like that. And, you know, if there's a special situation that a driver's having and, you know, the fleet manager needs to get involved and say, hey, this load or this load, we need something like that. That's what we do. And we just make sure that we've got a good load that fits with your hours and where you need to be. And, you know, it just makes sense.
All right, good deal. We got one more question from online, and you know, if either one of you know this off the top of your head, jump in. I think we got Daryl over here. If you don't, and just ballpark, they want to know what the fixed deductions for independent contractor would be. I know it varies between, you know, truck, but kind of ballpark it. You know, what the fixed deductions are per week.
Like their fixed
Fixed
costs,
expenses, yeah.
they'd have their truck payment, APU, their taxes, insurance,
Occupational accident insurance.
I think they're
Yeah,
looking for an approximate dollar amount.
Yeah.
well, typically it's about $1,250, so $1,250. Flatbed usually has more equipment expenses, so there's going to be a little bit more than that. So you just have to, that's about a ballpark right there.
All right, good deal. I think we're, you know, running up against time, but I got one more thing that I want to talk about. PC. You know, talk to us a little bit about, just real quick, about personal conveyance. When
Okay.
can I use it?
Yeah. So personal conveyance is meant for small personal movements, usually within the vicinity. Personal conveyance does continue to be an issue during inspections. In fact, we've heard from drivers over the road after being inspected that they were targeted solely based on the officer trying to find misuse. So if you're using it for work-related movements, such as going to fuel, wash out the shop, customers, etc., you're putting yourself at risk for a potential ticket or an out of service. And if you misuse PC here at Prime, it's not tolerated. So you could lose your personal conveyance on the unit. It's critical if you have any questions or concerns about PC to give us a call. That way we can steer you in the right direction. There's one other thing I want to mention, and it's certification, which also does continue to be an issue during inspections. If you fail to certify your log for any day throughout the last 8-day cycle, you could potentially be ticketed for that. So make sure to certify at the end of each shift. Additionally, we need your log certified here if you call in to request an edit. So it could save you a few minutes if you stay on top of certification in the first place.
All right, excellent.
It wasn't a question, but there was one more comment. I think someone up here may have an anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Tyler put something out there. So happy anniversary, Brennan.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
They're always watching.
He is.
If you guys have any questions for, you know, anybody in this SBU, hopefully you guys have time to hang out for a few minutes after the meeting to answer any questions. But also we encourage you, when you get assigned to, you know, whoever your fleet manager is, get to know your SBU, get to know your network. This is your support system to help you become successful. Thank you guys so much. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, we've got two more. I don't know. We got two more speakers here, but there's just one thing I want to say about the panel Dennis had up here. You know, those are some great folks, but those are the folks we have here. We're very careful on who we hire to work inside the walls of Prime, because we know our only job is to support you while you're out there. So for Brennan and Jesse and Wendy and Oakland, I appreciate them being up here. And I think they did a great job representing what all those folks do to support you. And I said it before, I'll say it one more time, is we're not going to be successful if you're not. There is nothing we do that doesn't lead to trying to make you as successful as possible out there. Sometimes we say here, don't be a victim. If your truck's not running right, if you're not being paid right, you're not understanding your logs, you're getting in trouble for your logs, if you're not getting the loads you want, speak up. Please speak up so we can help you. So again, thanks for our team for being down here. We're going to move it along pretty quick here. You ready, Brandon? I mentioned earlier in the meeting that we're already around to open enrollment season. That means that it's time to re-enroll in insurance. We have experts that do that because I certainly don't understand it. So Brandon's in our human resources department. They're located up in the main building. They're super accessible. They're right off the main lobby. They handle a lot of stuff for you insurance-wise and other areas up there. So don't hesitate to talk to them. But Brandon's going to talk about open enrollment today.
Yeah, good morning. Really, open enrollment has not started as of yet, just more key dates that I want you guys to be aware of. So on the company side, company drivers, in-house associates, open enrollment will start next Tuesday, so October 12th. It's going to run from October 12th to November 12th. So this is the time to make your changes. Look at your life insurance, make sure your beneficiaries are up to date, and so on. We're going to do open enrollment a little different this year. About every 5 years or so, we like to do an active enrollment. What an active enrollment is where we do force you to go in, look at the benefits that you have currently, make sure those are what you need and what you want, and actually make some changes if you need to, but you will have to re-elect your benefits this year, okay? So on Tuesday, keep your eye out. We're gonna send some mobile app messages out to you on how to go through the enrollment. We should have primeincbenefits.com, that website posted shortly with our new benefits guide, so you can look at the rates and all of that. On the company side, some of our ancillary products, short-term, long-term disability, life insurance, we're going to be changing some vendors there, which is a good thing. Rates are going to go down on those. Medical, don't have the best news, but guys, remember, we've gone 4 years without a rate increase. That's unheard of. I've never worked for a company before that we've not had an increase on medical. We are getting a little rate increase this year, but I do want to point out, this is all due to, in my opinion, the culture here at Prime, pushing wellness and so on. So, before I move on to the independent contractor side, I do want to point out that get a hold of Matt Hancock, get a hold of the doctor's office. On the driver's side, we do have a wellness program. That's going to help you guys. It's going to help with some refunds on your premiums. And it does help with rates. It's been proven. So get a hold of Matt Hancock, ask about the driver wellness program. It's a good thing. On the independent contractor side, you guys will have to wait a little longer as far as open enrollment opening up. That is going to start on November 1st. And this year, the federal government has opened that up. Rather than ending in December, that will now end January 15th. So you guys are getting an extra month to enroll in benefits. Independent contractors, we do have the resources through Enrollment First. You can always call them when open enrollment opens up. Dave Brill over here, he has an office over at the campus, so feel free to use him. Great guy. If you guys have any questions, get a hold of me, but I just wanted to get out in front of you and let you know next Tuesday, company drivers, open enrollment is starting. Independent contractors, November 1st. Any questions?
Any questions for Brandon or human resources questions in general? Again, they're located in the main building. Feel free to walk in. If you haven't figured it out yet, you have access to the entire building. There's no place you can't go. There's no one you can't speak to. That also is part of our culture. So if you think of something later and you go, I should have asked Brandon that, just walk right on in there. They will make you feel welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you guys. And
Thank you,
just
Brandon.
be expecting those mobile app messages to come out soon. Thank you.
We'll see you a bunch here in the next couple months. Before we go to our final kind of presentation and speaker today, I do want to do something that we do at each of our functions that we have, whether it's a Friday morning meeting, a Million Mile dinner, a Highway Diamonds dinner, which is coming up. We're slowly starting to open up our functions. We've really missed them the past 2 years. But one thing we always like to do is honor our veterans. So if you served in the armed forces, if you took part in defending our country, would you please stand this morning so we could recognize you as a veteran? Thank you all for your service. You ready, Doug? Bill, come on up. You know, a couple of times I think I've mentioned Million Miles. Let's talk about that just for a minute. That's an incredible accomplishment. And we have different formulas we use, rules that we have to go by. But in a nutshell, at a minimum, it takes 7 years of safe driving at Prime to accumulate 1 million safe miles. It takes 14 years to accumulate 2 million safe miles. And that's the minimum. It can take longer. And it takes 21 years to accumulate 3 million safe miles. And we have I think right now it's about 12% of our drivers have at least 1 million safe miles at Prime. And I'm always really proud of that for 2 reasons. One, obviously, those drivers are extremely safe that get that many miles under their belt without an accident. And number 2, it means longevity at Prime, that we are probably doing something right, that we're doing something that these drivers, they're staying with us 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. We now have some 4 million safe mile drivers. So today, we're really privileged to have Bill Maupin with us. And I won't take too much time because we also have his fleet manager here, Doug Gannon. But I'll tell you, I've known Bill a long time. I kind of had forgotten this. I knew his wife used to work with me in the log department, but that is actually where Bill met his wife, was in the log department. So maybe there are some advantages to having log violations, because it did work out for Bill in the long run. And their little tiny baby that they had together, I found out now, is 18 years old. So I think we're all getting old, but we're just super proud of Bill. And I'm going to turn it over to Doug Gannon, who's his fleet manager. And we've also got up here Steve Wetke, our vice president of sales and marketing. Go ahead, Doug. Just introduce yourself.
My name is Doug Gannon. Been a fleet manager and employed at Prime for 12 years. Actually met Bill when I was working in the inbound.
Yep.
And got to wash his windshield and inspect his truck and trailer as he came in.
Don't forget fuel in my fuel tank.
Fuel in the fuel tanks, for sure.
Well, that probably, you didn't see him very often, did you, Doug? Because he's out there hauling freight, right?
Right, yeah. He wasn't through very much, and whenever he was, it was just in and out. I got to go. That's the way he was.
Yeah, so Bill, tell us a little bit about how did we get you here?
You talking about from when I first started?
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Well, actually, I come out of a truck driving school and Prime accepted me. And when I came here, I had to go through the training process and that. But I kind of skipped a few steps and was able to get in my own first truck. And back then there was only like 278 trucks here. Now it's gotten where it's at.
Yeah, a little different. A little bit bigger now. About 6,000 or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, I proceeded to step forward. And once I got in, I had to start in a company truck. They had about 20 company trucks back then that they used for local stuff. But I stepped into that for like 3 or 4 months. And then I stepped into a lease truck. And from there proceeded to keep moving forward.
Yeah. So you've got an interesting record there. What would you tell these new folks that are joining us? What is the biggest key to success for you, Bill? What would you suggest?
Focus and the business aspect. Prime will help you in every way to get to where you need to get. And if you follow their steps, you will achieve your motives and ambitions.
Yeah, so it's a kind of a trust factor, right?
Yes.
Doug's counterpart, Oakland, was in here earlier talking about what is the most important part of being successful here. And it is generally the relationship between the operator and the fleet manager. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I definitely confirm that. I mean, it's
So you're telling me Doug gave you a good load every time you got empty?
No.
He got you home every time you wanted to get home. What are you telling me
He
here?
gets me home usually when I ask, but he's, you have to take the freight the way it falls. And if you, I mean, I've refused loads, guaranteed, but I don't suggest that. You have to take the freight that's handed to you because the planners have things planned out. So if you start refusing loads, then you're not gonna, it screws things up.
Yeah, Oakland didn't mention it, but we have an optimization software package that is kind of looking at the freight versus the trucks, tries to match the best load with the best truck to get the optimal utilization. And it's not perfect. And, Doug can override it, and I expect he does, working with his fleet or sales coordinators, I should say, suggesting that maybe that load doesn't work, right, Doug?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you have some dialogue, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not like take it or else.
No. Typically what I'll do is I'll look at, see what we've got here in our system, what we're being offered, and then looking at his hours, making sure where he's at for the week and seeing if that's going to be a good load for him and where it's going to put us.
So Bill, tell me, how many miles is it that I'm going to knock on wood here because I don't want to jinx you. Hang on here just a minute. How many miles has it been?
Well, according to Prime's records, 3 million.
When you're saying it's really what?
Probably more closer to 4 million.
That's the way it always works. That's what I say about my paycheck. It's never quite what it ought to be. But that's a tremendous story and accomplishment. I know how I drive, and I'm dangerous. And you've missed a lot of opportunities to hit one of those four-wheelers, haven't you?
I've come awful close a few times, and it's scary, but you just have to stay focused,
Yeah.
I can remember one time when there was a truck laying across the road in Pennsylvania on I-80, and I was taking advantage of a downhill slope. This was back in my early days, and I was letting the truck roll, and I was up there about 85 mile an hour, and that truck was laying across the road, and all of a sudden there was two trucks in front of me, England and a Ward truck, and they both went to the shoulders as far as they could go. Of course, the left shoulder was only about 2 feet wide. So Ward got over as far as he could, and I slid right in between them without even, the good Lord got me stopped
You had
before I
some-
hit that truck.
You had divine intervention working for you, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
But I really do like your term focus. I think these new drivers really need to understand that when you get ready to drive, you got to be ready. I mean,
Yes, sir.
you got to have your game face on, and you got to be expecting somebody to try to wreck you. And you just gotta be on your top of your game every minute, right?
Yes, sir. You're gonna have bumps and bruises along the way, especially if you've turned as many miles as I have. There's gonna be bumps and bruises, but they're not gonna be your fault or whatever the case may be. You're still gonna have bumps and bruises. I don't care how good you are.
Well, we've got a little love for you here, Bill, for your effort and your accomplishment. We're certainly proud to have you and hope you get another 3 million.
I hope so too.
Thank you for everything you do for us.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Congratulations, Doug. Thank you. You give those to those guys, okay? Yeah, so that's just one of many million milers we have here at Prime. My name's Steve Whitke. I'm in sales. Safety is really our highest calling in every way. This young man was talking about dwell time and what loads he's getting and does he have to wait and does he get compensated? Man, it's not a perfect world out there. I can tell you that we have detention rules with all of our customers. They do vary by customer, but we know the value of your time. And there has never been a better opportunity for us to go to our customers and receivers than now to try to improve those rules. And we're doing that with our sales team daily. Rates are moving up. I think finally we're getting the earnings to our driver base that you really deserve. We have a couple of very few principles here. Do your best, do what's right, treat others the way you want to be treated. We like that. We think it's fair. We think it's the right way to run a business. You all deserve the respect from all of our associates. believe me, everybody in that building, everybody at Pittston, Salt Lake City that work in-house really recognize who's doing the heavy lifting. And we're looking at you right here. You're our best sales team. So we appreciate everything you do. It is going to be winter very quickly. I think there's already some snow out in the west, different areas. So here's what I would tell you. If you don't feel comfortable, don't go. The captain of your ship is really correct. Just get secure, get safe, tell your fleet manager you're not comfortable. Don't try to overdrive, put your ego away. We don't expect you to do something that you're not necessarily capable of. So protect yourself, protect your company, and we'll get along just fine. Robert Lowe, the owner of our company, isn't here today. He would wish you the very best. He would tell you that his goal is to make you a lot of money. And we are aligned here at Prime. And I can tell you, the better you all do, the better everybody in this building does. So we're all in it together. You've got a lot of support. It is a challenge out there. We recognize it. We got 24/7 coverage here, which is kind of unusual in this business, but we'll do everything we can to minimize the pain. So I thank you all very much for being here. Be safe and wish you the very best. If we can ever help you, please don't hesitate to holler. Thank you. Have a good day.
As always.
Thank you.